Morning everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto. My name is Stephen Aitchison. Today we'll be going over the markets and looking at some charts and asking the question, is this the bottom for Bitcoin or have we still got lower to go for Bitcoin? I think a lot of people are panicking just now. There's a lot of fear in the market just now. Is this a good time to buy or is it a good time to sell? We're going to look at that just now. Okay, I'm just going to make sure we're all up and running okay and the sound is okay. So I'll just make sure we're still there. Just make sure we're still there. Yep, the sound is okay. A few people in just now. And I'll just welcome a few people in. We've got Pip Rider is in house. Welcome to you, mate. Good to see you here. Gaudy Boy is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Brundle25 is in. Chris from Edinburgh is in as well. Sound is good. Morning, guys. So I had a wee bit problem. I didn't think I was going to go live this morning because there was some issues with Wirecast, but it's all sorted. Looks good. We're ready to crack on. Okay, I'll just dive over and see. Yep, we're all good. Okay, so big question: is this kind of bottom for Bitcoin? Round about the bottom. Kind of got down to round about the 30,000 mark again. Jumped back up. Earlier on this week, so we jumped up $7,000 to $37,000. So we're going to take a look at the markets just now, and I'll just jump over and take a look at CoinGecko just now. Sure, we'll turn this off. I just want to make sure periodically that everything is good. I just want get that. Not a pretty sight. Okay, so CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, we've got a market capitalization of 1.6 trillion. We've almost nearly, that's an oxymoron, we've nearly lost about $1 trillion worth on the overall market capitalization in crypto over the last few months. It was up at $2.5 trillion, if you remember. So we're down to 1.6 trillion. That kind of tells us where we are. Bitcoin dominance is going back up. It's going up to 42.6%, which means the altcoins are going down. More people are getting into Bitcoin than the altcoins. And 17.5% Ethereum dominance as well. That's been kind of higher than that before. So Ethereum, nothing's doing well just now. The whole market is really following, with a few exceptions, the whole market is really following kind of Bitcoin just now. So, where are we just now? Bitcoin, we'll just refresh that. 37,000, we're back up to 37,000 again. We've been flip-flopping between 35 and 38 just now, which is not a bad place to kind of flip-flop between. We'll see who the winners are. Chile's, we spoke about this last week and I said this is going to go on an absolute tear with all the football teams, with the Euros coming up soon as well. Obviously Scotland's going to win the Euros as well, so there'll be a team for that. And Chile's, that's a joke by the way. It would be nice if we won something. But Chile's, we spoke about last week. I thought this is going to do phenomenal and it's up 39% over the last 24 hours. So it's starting to move again. I think that's a brilliant investment, to be honest. 1.7 billion. If you think about all the football teams around the world, I think Chile's is going to do amazing. I just wished I'd discovered it earlier. Well, I did see it earlier, I just didn't see the potential earlier. So Chile's, I think, is going to do amazing. AMP is up there at 12.5% over the last 24 hours. WazirX, Engine Coin is back up. Decentraland, Terra Luna we've spoke about a couple of times as well. Still not sure on that, but I just think it's going to do really well. Algorand is up, not by that much. Waves, Litecoin, Bitcoin 1.7% over the last 24 hours as well. So the market in general not doing that great. Who's down? Theta Fuel down 16. Internet Computer, that was on a tear last month. It's come right down again. So I've not checked into that much, to be honest, just because it came out the gates. It really came out the gates running. And I like to try and catch them early. Didn't catch this early. Obviously at all. Synthetics down 11%, Thorchain, Bitcoin Gold, Arweave, Monero, some good opportunities there if you're looking at it. If we're looking at the 7-day, 61% for AMP, Chile Fuel, Theta Fuel 12.5%, Chile's 10.5%. So if you look over the week, hardly anything is up. Just now you've got a few stable coins there as well, but that's nothing at all, obviously. Or most of them are stable coins. So a lot of them are down. What's down over the biggest? 46% for Internet Computer. Dorchain down 36%. Shiba Inu, they've not came out with their exchange yet. I think they're waiting on better market times, better market conditions before they come out with that. So yeah, there's a lot of them down by 30-40% just now. So it could be a great buying opportunity. That's how I tend to view the market just now, as a great buying opportunity. So it'll be interesting to see what you think, but we're still kind of undecided. Who else we've got in the house? CK is in the house. Tim Gash is here. Wendy and Ash is in. Even Steve from Tassie. I have your books on Kindle now and looking great. Fantastic. Thank you very much, mate. I'm writing the third book, by the way. So I'm doing 25% crypto and 75% writing and planning, kind of marketing and stuff like that for the 3 books. But crypto's taken over like 100% over the last couple of months, so I need to kind of swing it back. So what I've done is I've invested a couple of coins, a couple of projects I think are going to go really high. Obviously I'm still in Ethereum big time, and I still think that for the long term is going to be amazing. Okay, so let's look at kind of Bitcoin just now. This is where we stand at the moment. So this is the 50 MA, this is simple moving average, and the 200 MA. I usually have the 721 EMA, and I'll turn that on in a second. And you can see where we are right this minute. We are 37,142. So it's gone up, as I said, it's gone up and down. It was kind of yesterday and the day before, it was down to 32,000, went up to 38,000, 38,500. You can see the ceiling there. The resistance lines are very, very clear here, and the support lines very, very clear as well. So we're kind of trading within a channel. If we kind of put a channel here for Bitcoin, parallel channel, we can see round about here just now. So this is the channel we're kind of in. This is on the daily chart, and you'll see it clear on the 4-hour chart as well. Kind of broken out a couple of times. On the channel, we could even move that up and bring this down. So if that was on a channel, but I like when I'm looking at macro, I like it better when we're looking at the daily. So we'll keep on the daily just now, and we can see we're in this channel quite clearly. So until we break out of this kind of channel, either way, we're not really going to know what's happening with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just kind of going up and down just now. It's just really undecided. All the people that are buying Bitcoin is undecided. Bitcoin's not its own entity with its own consciousness, but sometimes it seems it does that. But we'll put the volume on as well. There's not that much volume here. That's the thing about this whole kind of thing just now. There's not that much volume at all. If you kind of zoom out, you can see there's kind of some spikes, selling volume certainly, but not much volume compared with the other kind of moves up. But once it starts to move up, the volume will come back as well. I'll just turn my email off. So there was a bit of volume over the last couple of days. It came back up again, kind of almost doubled the volume. We could see the price spike there. But right now, 37,161 at the moment. It looks as if we're coming over for the death cross. Now, something I want to speak about is the death cross. A lot of people talk about the death cross and it's really kind of bad, but it's not. We're going to zoom out and we'll go to a couple of death crosses over the last kind of couple of years. We've had one here. Back in 27th of March, this was when COVID hit. Death cross there, went down and came back up again to reach its all-time high. We had a death cross here on the 25th of October, round about then in 2019. Went down a wee bit, kind of reached a high, came down, went to an all-time high. Death cross here in 2018. That was a bad one, obviously. We came down from 9,300 to 3,000, so that was a kind of big one. But death crosses now, to me, they don't really mean anything. that much. Obviously, it's not a good sign because a lot of investors are looking at that, and a lot of investors are talking about it, and kind of YouTubers are talking about it, saying, "Oh, this is the end when the dead cross happens." Not necessarily. It just means it's coming down. It's on a downward trajectory. That's what the death cross means. Just much like anything else. If we take the death cross off, and we'll go MA, and we'll go the EMA crossing. Take these MAs off. So this is what I work on, is the 721 EMA. Turn that off. I've turned one too many on. That's the MA. So I like to work on a shorter time frame. The MA, the death cross we were talking about, works on the 50 moving average, 50 daily moving average, so 200 daily moving average. If you're looking for shorter time frames, crypto is a much shorter game. It's not going to be the same this time as it was last week as it is this time. So it's constantly shifting, constantly moving. So I like to use a shorter 721 EMA. That's the exponential moving average, and that gives us a much clearer picture, I think, of where we are. Now you can see we crossed to the downside on the 721 on the 11th of May, so that's almost a month ago, and that was at 56,000. So what I'm kind of doing is trading on these levels, or investing long term, or trading. So I'm dollar cost averaging in, or 15-minute or an hour trading. But you can do it on the daily. But on the daily, if you kind of shorted Bitcoin on the crossover, you could have shorted at 56,000 and got a $20,000 move, and you're still in play here because it's not crossed back up to the upside. So when you're kind of trading on the 721 EMA, you kind of trade on the crossover, and it wouldn't have been dead on 56,000. It probably more like 50,000 by the time it crossed over and confirmed. If you trade on that, you get in on that, so you got in a short, and then you get out on the cross up to the opposite side, whether it's short or long. So we've not crossed up yet, but we are getting closer to a move up to the upside on the 721 crossover. So 37,133 just now. We need to break out from the 38,500. You can see the support here. I'll take this channel off. Support here, the traffic light charts, you've got support at 33,100. It's bounced off that a couple of times. You can see that's very clear here. You've also got resistance at the moment of 38,500. That's historical resistance as well. It did become support previously. We've got the 42,950 level, which is another resistance. If we go through that, we're going back up to the 50s or mid 40s at least. But we have to break this 38,500 again and stay above that on the daily before we're going to get back up to the 42, 43,000 region. You can see we're going up. We're in the right direction this morning. Coming up for the weekend, traditionally the weekend, we don't get a lot of action because a lot of the institutions are closed and stuff like that as well. Can't trade, but all crypto is 24/7. So it's retail that are in the market at the weekend. That's why traditionally it doesn't really do much, or it kind of goes down because a lot of people are selling for the weekend as well. They don't want to be stuck in a position over the weekend if something drastic happens. So that's why traditionally we go down at the weekend as well. But just now, 37,259. We'll go to the hourly, the micro view. So on the hourly, we've crossed to the upside. You can see big green candles there as well. So we've crossed to the upside there, but we've been flip-flopping in and out on the outside, so probably better on the 4 hourly. 4 hourly we've crossed to the upside as well, which is probably a better chart if you're trading Bitcoin, trading other altcoins. The hourly chart is good and the 15-minute chart is good if you're trading. But for Bitcoin, because it's so drastic just now, trading on a 15-minute, you'd be in and out all the time. If you look at these are the red and green arrows. This is only over the last kind of day or so. You'd have been in and out a hell of a lot on it. Although not as much as I thought. I would have just seen 1, 2, 3 green candles, 2 red candles, so not as much as I thought. So you can catch some big moves on the 15-minute chart. as well, and I like to trade the large cryptos and that. But everything is following Bitcoin just now. Everything. There's a few exceptions, obviously. We'll look at a few exceptions just now. STPTUSD is an exception at the moment. You can see that that's up 51%. This is on Binance. We'll just see what else is up. ASR is up as well. I don't know what's driving this. Obviously there's good news kind of driving this as well. Axis is up big time as well. It's gone up just now. Chile's we kind of spoke about earlier. That's moving up big time as well. So there's always going to be exceptions, and they are kind of the exceptions just now. But Bitcoin is going in the right direction. It's just come back down. See, it's up and down $100 within the space of a minute. So it's just up and down all the time just now. So we need to break to the upside of the $38,500 as well. But there is good news on the horizon for Bitcoin. And I want to show you a couple of things just now. I'll move off that. So the fear and greed index just now is 21. So we're at extreme fear at the moment. Normally, we can take that as a signal. If it goes lower, it's been much lower than that as well. I've seen it kind of 12 over the last month or so. If it goes lower than that, that could be a signal to buy. Because obviously when people are fearful, that's when you start buying. But this is the kind of historic look. This is over the last year just now of the fear and greed index. So we're kind of near a yearly low for the fear and greed index just now. It has been as low as 10. Over the last month, it has been as low as 10. As I said, we're at 21. So this could be a good time to actually buy. And there's one of the ones here I want to look at. This is from Crypto Elliott. And what he's done, he's correlated the fear and greed index and correlated with the Bitcoin price movement. So we can see here lows back in 2018 when the fear and greed index was extremely low as well. We kind of bounced from here and we had lows up here as well back in 2019. 2020 as well, we had an extreme low here. This is March 2020. That was the COVID happening as well. Extreme kind of fear there as well. Then we bounced, went to its all-time high. But at the same point again as all of these. Obviously there's a correlation, a direct correlation between the Bitcoin price. So when the Bitcoin price is going down, obviously the fear and greed index is going to go down as well towards the fear. So there is a direct correlation there as well, but it could be argued that they go hand in hand. So once does fear and greed index go lower first before Bitcoin goes lower, as the Bitcoin goes low and then the fear and greed index goes low. So you've got to kind of look at that point as well. But there's no getting away that fear and greed index here, we could be on another super spike up to the upside. That's a bit of kind of good news as well. Other good news for Bitcoin takes us to allow state banks to hold Bitcoin. This has just come out today. Texas Department of Banking today issued a notice confirming that state chartered banks may store cryptocurrencies on clients' behalf, provided they have adequate protocols in place for complying with the law. So this is custodial, which is still a step in the right direction, but we were speaking about this a couple of years ago as well. India, just the usual shite, to be honest, because India's kind of flip-flopping. We're going to ban crypto, we're not going to ban it, we're going to ban crypto, we're not going to ban it. On and on it goes, just like the China FUD as well. It's just, it's bullshit manipulation, and I really do genuinely believe it is manipulation just now. And it's gotten so into my psyche just now that I've got it in the book as well, in the third book. And it tells you, in the third book, Alicia Collins is a kind of multi-billionaire businesswoman, and it tells you exactly how she manipulates Bitcoin. And it's using all the sites like this. So she's using all the crypto news sites to spread FUD, so the price goes down. And she gets big corporations on board to spread FUD about Bitcoin, i.e. its energy usage just going down. And they speak about that and just saying we're coming out of Bitcoin because of the energy usage. You know who I'm talking about. So it explains in the book exactly how they're going to bring the price down by 70%. And this is what's happening just now. I feel genuinely this is what's happening just now. You've got JP Morgan coming out as well, and they're talking about how Bitcoin is going to go down, and we're going to be in a bear market soon as well, for their own nefarious purposes, obviously, to get into Bitcoin. I genuinely believe this now. I did think previously, this could be construed as conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but I genuinely believe, just looking at this, the India thing, the China thing, it's all just ridiculous. They've changed their mind so many times, it's unbelievable. That can only be manipulation. Genuinely think that as well. It's not just me doing the conspiracy stuff. Sorry, I'm frog in my throat. Another piece of good news, multi-trillion asset manager State Street launches digital currency division. So the second oldest continuously operating US bank, State Street, has launched a new division dedicated to cryptocurrency and digital assets. So it's a multi-trillion-dollar asset manager. Another piece of good news. Another piece of good news as well. Yeah, I was right. Australian serviced office firm to accept rent in crypto. So this time around, from back in 2018 and 2017, 2018, when we kind of first crashed from 20,000 all the way down to 3,000, we didn't have the big institutional buys. We spoke about it. We spoke about it and saying, the institutions are coming in. We kept on saying the institutions are coming in. Bitcoin is going to go higher. The institutions are getting in now. But now, really, the institutions are in crypto just now. They are in Bitcoin just now. Even looking at Ethereum, even looking at Cardano, even looking at Polkadot, Hedera Hashgraph, looking at the big kind of guns just now as well. They are genuinely in and holding just now. If you look at the ratio between the short-term holders of Bitcoin, the Bitcoin wallets, and the long-term holders are not selling. Why is that? Because they believe in Bitcoin in the long term. It's only the retail people and people that are listening to FUD that are selling and flip-flopping in and out just now. But long term, it's just a case of dollar cost averaging in on Bitcoin or your favorite altcoin. For me, it's Ethereum. You know that, but it could be Cardano. It could be the other big ones as well that we've been looking at. We'll just go into them and see how they're doing actually. Ethereum, obviously down in line with Bitcoin as well. It's following Bitcoin. Cardano, same again. It's down more, I'd say, because it's had a huge run up, but still $10 Cardano. XRP is not obviously a protocol. It's a cryptocurrency, but XRP I think is going to do well, but it's a risk. It's a risky one to get into. Polkadot doing well. It went on a kind of wee bit of a run. It's come back down to $22. I think that's going to be $100 at least. Spoke about it before. Litecoin, Solana, it's going to go up as well. What's the other one? Polygon. So whatever one you are into, then just dollar cost averaging, what the one you believe in is going to kind of go up. And all these, I think, are 5x's. We've looked at 5x's and 10x's last week as well. And all of these are at least 5x's. The ones in the top 100. Kusama kind of went on a tear as well. Come back down over the last kind of couple of days. But there's just loads in there. And Cosmos is the most interesting one to me. I think that's underrated just now and undervalued and it's not being really spoken about. Cosmos, I think, could do really well. So out of the large caps, the ones that could, I've spoke about the 5x's, probably Cosmos is a 10x'er, I would say. Yeah, I'd say Cosmos was a 10x'er. So we'll look at Ethereum. Ethereum's going to, same with any of the other charts as well, they're just going to follow kind of Bitcoin just now. So Ethereum, 2,462 at the moment. This is on the 15-minute chart. I've been trading Ethereum on a 15-minute chart. But again, you're stuck in front of the computer all the time, much like the memes as well. Kuko's doing well in our group on the memes. She's kind of the meme queen just now. But I've just not got time for memes at all just now. And I mean that literally. I don't have time to sit in front of the computer because I'm doing the writing and that. And you have to keep an eye on the memes all the time. And same with 15-minute trading as well. You have to keep an eye on it. So I'm kind of holding Ethereum for long term, but that's in line with the market just now on the daily. On the 4 hourly, it's not crossed up to the upside yet on the 721 EMA. So we're still on a downtrend at the moment for Ethereum. 1924 is holding. We need to get past and stay above the 2,500 level for Ethereum. It was trading in that channel for a while, but we need to get past that and then on towards 2,900 for it to have any chance. Now, is there a chance for a decoupling from Bitcoin? I think there is, and I think there is a case that there is going to be a flipping towards the end of the year. June, July, I think is going to be or towards the end of June and July, there's going to be 2 big months for Ethereum. July in particular, obviously, then towards the end of July. But I think people are going to start FOMOing in on Ethereum towards the end of June, beginning of July. So I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to see a bigger kind of percentage increase on Ethereum's hold on the market as well. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. But again, it depends on what Bitcoin does. And would it be a case of capitulating, or would it be a case of decoupling for the likes of Ethereum and Cardano and Polkadot and the Solana and Cosmos, etc. The one I'm in long term is Verasity. Verasity is going to be market driven. It's going to be news driven just now because everything is out there just now with Verasity. We know kind of everything at the moment. So it's just a case of getting the partnerships in, getting a couple of new listings in, particularly with Binance and Huobi. Once they come on board, the thing will go much higher. And I think Verasity could be one that kind of goes against the market when good news comes out. So if they've got one big partnership, they've got Riot Games as well. That news has come out. I don't see that as huge news. Obviously, it's big news. And we'll just have a look at that just now. So 10 Games owns Riot. So just seeing the news. So Riot Games, I don't know if you've seen that news as well. This is, where is it released? It's in the kind of Twitter feed just now, but they've kind of teamed up with them, Riot Games, as well, with the Esports Fight Club that they're doing as well. I don't see that as a huge news we're waiting on, but it is really good news for Verasity, and that's why they've managed to stay up just now in this kind of trading channel that they're in at the moment between 0.12 cents and 2.3 cents. So we're still not crossed to the upside on the daily. On the 4 hourly, we've just crossed over to the upside. So it's going against the kind of grain at the moment. And I feel this is why I'm in kind of Verasity as well. I feel this is one of the ones that could buck the trend no matter what happens with Bitcoin, if the good news kind of comes out about big partnerships with the kind of improved view as well, and if the listings come as well. But obviously they wouldn't release that until the kind of market conditions are better, I feel. But I do still think this is at least 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 extra. So it's still in it, big time, never sold any, staking it, getting 25% per year, APY that is. It's collecting now, I think it's about 10,000 VRA tokens every 3 days, something like that. So that'll do me, that's about $40 per day or something, $30, $40. So I'm happy to stay in. I could have sold at the top at 5 cents or something, but I have to stay and get the staking rewards as well. So that's Verasity. Another one I'm in just now is Reef Fiance, just because I've seen the setup and one of my friends talks about it quite a lot. We kind of chat about it quite a lot, and he's into it, really likes it. But when I seen the chart setup on this, I thought, wow, this could kind of blow up. It could be another one that goes against the grain. So if we look at this descending triangle, I love my kind of triangles on TA. It's just breaking out of a descending triangle. So this is a long-term descending triangle. Well, not long-term, it's a month-long term descending triangle. And what you do with a descending triangle, you do the measured breakout. That's from the top to the bottom, and you kind of do the measured breakout. And if it does break out and it confirms on the breakout, then we could go as high as 5.9 cents or nearly 6 cents. Not immediately, not in one day, but it could break out to the upside. So that's, I'll just see what that move is from here. 164% move, and they've got a lot of stuff coming up. And market cap. I don't know if you go on, this is a really good site just to kind of look at as well about kind of everything that's up and coming. And search that. So towards the end of June, Moonbeam support. Reef SDK third parties will be able to provide their own backend for proposing baskets. Reef vaults are coming out, Reef basket dynamic, pooling mechanism, Reef DAO structure, smart asset management, Reef debit card. A lot of kind of companies or projects that bring out debit cards tend to go up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6x once they bring out the debit card as well, so that could be good for them. The NFT baskets, NFTs are not dead, they're just taking a back burner just now. Mobile app initiation, Steam ecosystem basket as well, all coming up towards the end of the year, plus more. So I feel with the setup on this as well, I feel this could be a really good play, but it's not confirmed yet. If we look at this and go to, let's say, logarithmic. Yeah, it's not confirmed at the moment, the breakout. It's just breaking out just now, but it's not actually being confirmed. So you need to get another candle or two before it's confirmed. So I feel that's a good play just now. And we'll see what happens with that as well. Okay, I'm going to go to the chat. Pip Rider, I hope the holiday trip vacation got you re-energized, mate. Yes, it did. It did. We had a week off, had a week and a half off. Decided to extend it, and it was brilliant. We got the weather for it. We just went all over Scotland, and it was just day trips. Day trips on the train to Oban, up to Stirling. Kind of drove up to Stirling. Lots of different places actually, and just hill walking as well. Doing at Doon Castle. So it was brilliant. Loved it, absolutely loved it, and it was really did re-energize me for the book as well as kind of crypto as well. But with the kind of crypto stuff, it's a case of I'm going on the side of the Bitcoin is going to go up. So I've invested big in Reef and Verasity, and I've been trading in and out of Ethereum just now as well when I could. Got some money there, got a couple $1,000 extra when I was doing the trading, so I put it into kind of Reef and Verasity, see where they go just now. But Bitcoin goes down, I understand that Reef and Verasity are coming down with it as well as the whole market. Kukla is in-house, welcome to you, just speaking about you earlier. Wendy and Ash, love your creative inputs, thank you very much, mate. G-Slick, hi to you. Panadolax is in the house. Kukla, we just don't want to have a death cross lasting as long as 2018 one. Yes, we definitely don't want that. But as I was saying earlier on, Kukla, I don't think the death cross is as big a deal as it once was, because fundamentally things are totally different with the crypto market. Sean, we need to break Bitcoin 38k resistance and then we march to 41k. Yeah, I've got that down at 38,500. Once we break that resistance and stay above, it's not just about breaking it, it's about staying above that resistance as well. So if we kind of bring this down, so we've not really, we'll go to the 4 hourly and auto. So you can see we've not really stayed above 38,000 for any length of time. What I'd like to see is a trading channel. If we were trading in between this channel, that would be fantastic. We're not doing that at the moment, but just now what we're doing, we're trading between the 33 and 38 channel just now. So I'd like to see it move up to 38.5, trading up to the kind of 43,000 or 42,957 level doesn't have to be exact, but it's round about there. If we get into that trading channel, then I'll be much more optimistic than I am just now. I'm cautiously optimistic at the moment with regards to Bitcoin, i.e. the whole market. So I'm cautiously optimistic here. Newman Lord, cryptocurrency is slowly becoming adopted in banks and countries. It is. El Salvador was brilliant news. And I think El Salvador was very understated. A lot of people kind of spoke about it, but it was very understated about how big that actually is. It could be the opening of a door for many other countries to get in, because what El Salvador is going to do, and it depends on what the El Salvador the president does from this stage onwards, because the International Monetary Fund are now getting involved in that as well. We'll see what happens with that. They're having a meeting and they're talking about that as well. So it depends on what the El Salvadorian kind of president does, because what's going to happen is going to open the door for other countries to get in, and they're going to emulate the model that he's used. So it looks as if he's got a plan. It looks as if he's got a good model to base this on as well. So other countries coming in, Venezuela could be coming in, other South American countries as well. They're going to model what El Salvador do. So if he gets it right, that's going to be almost a template for what other countries are going to do as well, if that makes sense. So think about that, how big that could be. So this is like, if you imagine the kind of the view on the world, and you've got your view, you stay in your house just now, and there's a door that looks out onto the whole wide world. This is what El Salvador are doing. This is how I kind of see it analogous to. The El Salvador are opening the door to the whole wide world. If they do this right, if the IMF kind of don't get involved and do their crap as well, we'll see what happens there. But it's literally opening the door to the whole world, because he's going to have a template for how they're going to do this and how countries are going to be able to accept Bitcoin and make it legal tender. So it's essentially now, and other people are saying this as well, it's going to become an asset class, which changes the game as well. So things are fundamentally different just now. This is why I'm cautiously optimistic. It can go down from here as well. I think Bitcoin can go down, and it might go down further. I don't see it any lower than 28,000. A lot of people are talking about 20,000. I genuinely don't see it any lower than 28,000. But I still see it going up from here. We're still in this kind of zone just now between 33 and 38. Once we get above 38 and we start trading in the zone of 38 to 42, then I think we're just going to steadily climb the ladder back to all-time highs again. And we'll go to the weekly as well and get rid of this. So this is a weekly. I'll just get rid of these wee ones. I hit these wee dots. So if we take a macro view, I'll get rid of these as well. That was the kind of crossovers. If we take a macro view, we've not broken the structure, and I've said this before, we've not broken the structure on Bitcoin for years, 10, 12 years. We've just not broken the structure just now. And that's this, almost like a wedge, kind of going up just now. And it's a 4-year cycle. Here as well, we've heard about the 4-year cycle. We've still not reached the peak of that 4-year cycle yet. So if this was to pull off, we could come down, and that would be as low as round about the 24,000 level. Could come down and start to go back up and go as high as the 300,000 level. Extremely optimistic, but I'm thinking more towards that level than the $20,000 level. So I know that sounds it does sound extremely optimistic, but that's where my head is just now. I think we're still going to go up towards the end of the year. After 2022, because of this kind of 4-year cycle historically as well, we might start to come back down. But if you look at that, if we do start to come back down, just say we kind of pulled right back and we've done this kind of thing, we did go up. And then we start to have a kind of bear market again, we're kind of coming down. Look at where the level is that we're coming down to, say by the end of 2022. we're still at $75,000 Bitcoin. Because of this support line here, we're still at $75,000 Bitcoin. And if you go up to 25 and it just stays on this line, and that's all it does, kind of climbs up to there. 2025, we're still at $500,000 for a Bitcoin. This, more than what anybody else is saying, gets me or keeps me optimistic about the future. Because there's so many times in the past I've kind of sold and I've said, Bitcoin's going down, it's all going down. I've listened to the FUD, or I've looked to the FUD and it's permeated in my kind of subconscious mind. I'm going, it's going to go down. And it has gone down, obviously. Here, 20,000 to 3,000. But the longer term trend, if we follow this kind of support line, is up. We're in a bull market. We've never came out of the bull market. We're looking at the long term weekly trend. Of course, we can break this. We've done it with COVID. It just broke it, but it came back up very, very quickly. So if you look at it from that point of view, the risk to reward ratio about buying just now and going and kind of dollar cost averaging in just now is really quite good, I would say. It's fantastic, I would say. So that's why I'm optimistic still just now. I'm optimistic by nature, but I think I've got something to back it up as well. Go back to the chat. All hail the meme queen. Yes, Kukla is the meme queen. And doing brilliant work as well, making money on it as well for the members in the group. But as I say, it's not my thing. I tend to stay out of all the conversations with that, and that's cool. Gordy Boy, unlike 2017, 2018, when I would buy the coin, there was the flavour of the day. I now have big projects. Yeah, I think that's wise as well, and it's 10 to where I'm going just now. I was looking for the 100x projects, now I'm looking for the 5, 10x projects now. Also farm on Pancake, and I bank the daily rewards in a decent staking pool. Learn my lesson. Yes, I think that's good. I've not gone to farming yet. Gordy Boy, it'd be interesting to hear your take on that, of kind of your experience in the group. It'd be quite interesting to hear kind of what you're doing, because I know you need to keep an eye on the farming as well. VR, El Salvador has saved the bull market. Entire Latin America countries will follow Salvador. They will be the fastest movers to adopt BTC. The first movers, yeah. And there's other countries talking about it as well. But we have to make it clear, this is not a CBDC whereby they're going to create their own coin. They're actually using Bitcoin as their legal tender. So it's not like they're going to bring out their own coin like China talking about it and other kind of countries as well. We don't want that. We definitely do not want a CBDC coming out. Rob Fiddler, good morning to you. Mark Ennis is in the house. Good morning, mate. It's good to see you. Thanks for great insights, Steve. Awesome as always. Cheers, buddy. Daniel LeBron Larson, good day to you as well. G-Slick Woo, yes, Woo has done well. It did get down to as low as about, I think it was 26 cents. That's Woo Trade. It's now back up to about 90 cents, which has done brilliant. Gordy Boy, Steve, you must be holding some amount of Verasity. Only get $1 a day. LOL. I went in big with Verasity, I have to admit. I did go in big because I looked at the long-term picture. But I do recognise that it is going to be news-driven as well. But they've got a number of different things that, even if they didn't get any partnerships with regard to the proof of view, if they didn't get any of that, and I know that they have done already with the Esports Fight Club, but just getting into esports as well, being in that game alone is going to give them an edge as well. So I still see it on a couple of different angles. I think it's going to do extremely well. So yeah, it's not all or nothing, because I've got my finger in other pies obviously, but Verasity, I do kind of believe in it just now as well. Rob Fiddler, crush those likes and enjoy your morning coffee. Cheers, mate. Gordy Boy, thanks for reminding me about staking Verasity. Haven't looked at my account for ages. Yeah, it's good. I collect it every 3 days and just kind of restake it so you get an APY. Rob Fiddler, will be interesting to see how the IMF react to the El Salvador situation. I hope they're not going to be dicks about it and just try and involve themselves in it, because the bigger picture, nobody is going to like the fact that Bitcoin is the answer to what is going on with the macro economy just now with regards to the US dollar. Nobody is going to like it. Trump has came out talked about Bitcoin because they can't afford to like Bitcoin. They can't afford to have that happen. And I think there's going to be strong opposition with regards to the IMF as well. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out, because it could be a case of El Salvador stick the two fingers up and just say, you're nothing to do with us, you cannot control us. And that's what I hope they do, and everybody else uses them as a template. That's what I hope they do, because he seems to have it together just now. I've not checked any of his recent tweets just now, and that was from profile. Go following. I just recently followed him and see if his recent tweets. And half a mile from it, the Bitcoin mining facility, designing that as we tweet soon. That's what it's going to look like. So he's designing a Bitcoin mining facility as well. I hope it's energy efficient. Right, who knew you could earn compound interest on a volcano? So they're talking about that as the energy supply. So I think Nayib, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Nayib Bukele, is doing everything right, and he could have a strong template for kind of what's going on, or how to make it legal tender. I hope. Have you seen the vid for the new robotic nurse running off Singularity Net like Sophia? I haven't seen that, no. Marquinhos Godboy, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, about the kind of wallets. Right, anything, what else was I looking at? I was looking at this, yeah, this is stock to flow kind of model as well. This is plan B, kind of talking about the models and where this model is and where it's going to end up as well. We're talking about, this is up to $1 million by 2027 for kind of Bitcoin, and it kind of goes in line with what I was showing you there just now with the support line with Bitcoin as well, going up to kind of $500,000 by 2025. So it's going in line with that, but you can see here what he's got is, you can see a bottom here at 3,000 kind of dollars. COVID happened 2020, came down to kind of around about this blue line. Elon, Fed, Trump, China, India ban, FUD attack down here, and I think plan B is saying, we've seen it all before, it's following this model quite nicely and it's going to keep on following it, so hopefully we'll be up to, what's he talking about, or what they talking about, the stock to flow. It can go much higher than that obviously. So yeah, I still see it as going up as well, and plan B as well is looking at that just going up from here. Obviously we could come down, what's that, around about 20,000 as well, but you just never know. You just never know. I think it's a case of investing with conviction as well. I've spoke about trading with conviction before, but investing with conviction as well. Any other, what we're looking at, somebody was talking about WooTrade, yeah. So this has been quite a good run up, and I wished I should have got back in again to WooTrade, because I spoke about it for ages. It went up to $2 obviously, but it came all the way down to 29 cents. It wasn't 26. I thought it was 26, but a big move up of 269%. So this is where the opportunities lie. When you've got your favorite, one of your favorite altcoins, and it goes down big time in line with the market, that's the kind of chance to buy more. You could add a 269% run up from there, but it's got to be quality kind of projects, and this is where I see WooTrade as a quality project. Obviously I've spoken about lots of times. Same with Modify, same with Reef, Verasity as well. We've looked at them. Where did that get down to? That's had a run up of 49%. So Reef has had a run up from its low of 22%. Not that much actually, 22%. But I'm just hoping this does kind of explode out the gates, explode out of this kind of triangle as well. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. Might be totally wrong. Okay, I think I will leave it there just now. I'll keep it under the hour, which is a first for me. But I was just to say, just to keep your heads up and just be careful, obviously, as well. If you're doing the memes, still just be careful of any of the scams out there as well. But if you're doing the trading as well, just keep an eye on the charts. And if you want to join a group, there's a link down below to join our group as well. And just be careful. Just watch yourself and stay positive as well. If you think about the long term, always think about the long term, about why you got into Bitcoin in the first place. And it was about sticking it to the man. That's what we're kind of doing. We're just saying you're not controlling us. That's ultimately what Bitcoin is going to do. It's what it's going to do for us. There's going to be a lot of turbulence, a hell of a lot of turbulence. But yeah, there's always going to be turbulence with change. And this, I still see Bitcoin as a revolution. And with any revolution, there's going to be turbulent times. This is a turbulent time just now, and it's going to be turbulent in the future until everything stabilizes out. Where that's going to be 5-10 years time, I don't know. But think about the long term, where Bitcoin is going to be in the long term, and don't have the short term thinking. So this is about long term gains for you as well. This is why I've got my Ethereum in a pension pot. I can't touch a pension pot. I can sell Ethereum, but I can't touch the actual pension pot just now. So I'm just going to leave Ethereum sitting in there just now until it gets to at least $10,000, $15,000. And then I'll think about selling some and leaving the rest to run. So think about the long term. Think about the quality projects now. Even the small caps as well. There's some amazing small cap quality projects out there as well. I spoke about Modify, I spoke about WooTrade as well. It's not really a small cap anymore. So yeah, just look for opportunities like that as well. Pip Rider's saying have a great weekend. Just like it's saying bye all as well. So yes, have a brilliant weekend. What you're doing, whatever you're doing, and I will speak to you next week. Until then, namaste. Take care. Bye now.